Hello, sporty people, and welcome back to the Sportyside app. This time it's all about the joke. Novak Djokovic has won his 10th Australian title, his 22nd Grand Slam title, and right now he's at par with Rafael Nadal and Steffi Graf in the Open era. Yeah, before we go on, let's hear from the man of the moment after the win against Tsitsipas to claim his 10th Australian Open title and his 22nd Grand Slam title.
Pride and satisfaction that I feel at the moment, of course. When I went into my box, I just think emotionally collapsed there, and teared up with especially my mother and my brother when I gave them a hug, because up to that moment I was not allowing myself to I guess be distracted with things off the court or whatever was happening, and dealing with an injury and things happening off the court as well that could easily been a big disturbance to my focus, to my game, and it required an enormous mental energy, really to stay present, to stay focused, to take things day by day, and really see how far it can go. I mean, if I turn back the time 2.5 weeks ago, I wasn't really liking my chance in this tournament with the way I felt with my leg, and then it was just a matter of survival of every single match and just trying to take it to the next round. The good thing about the Grand Slam here is that you have a day between the matches, so it allowed me to have more time than normally on some other tournaments to recover, to try to do all the treatments in order to get myself in a somewhat of a good state and condition to play and eventually win. So from fourth round onwards, I feel like leg was not bothering me as much. I felt my movement was much better, and I played some of my best tennis, honestly, in Australian Open. In the fourth round, quarterfinals, semifinals.
So Novak Djokovic has reclaimed the top spot in the ATP rankings. It was released on Monday after he won his 22nd Grand Slam title at the Australian Open. He rose 4 places to take over Spain's Carlo Alcaraz's spot. Yeah, Alcaraz missed that tournament with injury, and he has now dropped to second. Remember, Djokovic was at the top of the rankings at the beginning of last tennis season, where he missed the Australian Open due to the COVID-19 issues, that he was deported from Australia due to COVID-19 issues, and now he's back at the Australian Open and has won his 10th title at the Melbourne Park. An exciting time for tennis lovers, having watched him fail to claim his 10th title. Djokovic's win has garnered a lot of reactions, both within and outside the tennis world, from football to cricket's Geoffrey Archer, as well as footballers Joshua Kimmich and Danny Welbeck, and also Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford. They have all paid tribute to Novak Djokovic. After the win over Stefanos Tsitsipas, Djokovic copied Marcus Rashford's signature celebration. It got Rashford talking, and Rashford congratulated Djokovic by posting a photo of the 35-year-old Serb on his story alongside the GOAT emoji. So many people celebrating Djokovic on his win. Yeah, there's so many talking points as regards this win for Djokovic. One is, how long can he keep up? What do you think? I would like to hear your comment. But first, let's hear from his coach, Goran Ivanisevic, who believes Djokovic can still remain at the top for the next 2 to 3 years. For Ivanisevic, Djokovic still has a lot to offer. Let's listen to him.
I don't say 100%, but 97% of the players, if on Saturday when you get results of the MRI, you go straight to the referee office and pull out of the tournament. But not him. He is from other space, his brain is working different I'm with him 4 years, but it's. I said 8 or 9 years ago that Novak and Rafa will go over Roger. Back then, they were, people were looking at me like strangely, but we have 22, two unbelievable competitors, two unbelievable tennis players, what they did for the tennis, and I'm looking forward to honestly for both of them to be super healthy, and then battle is there, and with the young guys who gonna try to find back door to sneak and try to do something, but still these two guys, they're gonna.
With this victory against Tsitsipas, Djokovic has now won 5 of the past 7 Grand Slams he has played in. He beat a 24-year-old opponent to achieve this. This begs a question: who among the young players now can topple Djokovic? Stefanos Tsitsipas, by the way, is 24 years old, 11 years younger than Novak Djokovic, and the only older person than Djokovic at the Australian Open is Rafael Nadal, who lost in early stages of the competition. Yeah, so why is it so difficult for the younger players to topple Djokovic? Who among the rising youngsters can topple Novak Djokovic? So let's look at some of the records. In the past 4 years, Djokovic has lost only 5 of the 45 matches he has played against opponents under the age of 23. Djokovic has won 6 of his 7 Grand Slam finals in that period against players born in the 90s, with Russia's Daniil Medvedev landing the younger generation's only success in the 2021 US Open. It's obvious that Djokovic has a stranglehold on the younger players. That's the second question. Our third question is, can he start being recognized as the greatest tennis player to have lived? Okay, let me give you some of his records. I can actually think of 10 reasons why he can be regarded as such. One is nobody has more Grand Slams than he does. Yes, nobody in the Open era, nobody has it. Nadal has 22. Steffi Graf has 22 as well. Roger Federer has 20. So with that victory on Sunday, Novak Djokovic and Nadal have shared 16 of the past 19 Grand Slam tournaments, with both men leading the way with 22. He has spent the most weeks as the ATP leader. Yeah, at the top of the ATP rankings, he has spent the most weeks at the top of the rankings. Yeah, he has showed consistency. He long surpassed Roger Federer's record of 310 weeks. He has spent 373 weeks at the top of the rankings, despite having missed 6 tournaments last season. He recorded the highest number of points in the season. Yeah, that was in 2015 when he set a record that has never been matched and accumulated 16,785 points thanks to 11 titles he claimed. Those titles were from the Australian Open, the Indian Wells, the Miami Masters, the Monte Carlo Masters, the Rome Masters, the Wimbledon US Open, Beijing, Shanghai, Paris, and the Masters Cup. He got those points from 11 titles. Another point, which is the fourth, is Djokovic has the most Masters 1000 titles. He has 37 of those. He has 1 more than Nadal and 9 more than Roger Federer. He's the only player to have won all 9 Masters. He has also won each at least 2 times. What a man that is. He has now won his 10th Grand Slam title over the age of 30, more than any other player. Another point is Djokovic has won the ATP Masters Cup a total of 6 times, equaling Roger Federer's record. Nadal is yet to win the Masters event, which is now being held at the Alpe Tour in Turin. And Djokovic also dominates his 2 biggest rivals, that is Roger Federer and Nadal, and that speaks volume. He leads the Swiss with 27 wins to 23, and Nadal with 30 wins to 29 in head-to-head. He has the best winning percentage in history. That is another record that stands out. He has won 1,043 of 1,249 matches he has played in. That is a success rate of 83.5%. Nadal is second in that ranking with 1,068 victories to 220 defeats, which means a success rate of 82%. Then finally, he's the leader in titles among active tennis players here. The triumph at the Australian Open allowed Djokovic to break the tie with Nadal in the total number of tournaments won. It is 93 for Djokovic and 92 for Nadal. Yeah, Djokovic remains as the most decorated active player, but is behind Jimmy Connor's 109 total titles, Federer's 103, and Ivan Lendl's 94 titles. You've heard the record. What does it say? What does it say to you? What do you think about that? Do you think he's the greatest of all time? But before you state your thoughts, let's hear what he thinks about that.
I want to ask you, are you the greatest male tennis player of all time?
Don't ask me that.
Number 22.
Don't put me on the spot. No. Look. First, I have to say that I'm so honored and privileged to be in this discussion. First. Second, I truly honor and admire the history and all the greats that paved the way for all of us to be here where we are. I feel like it's difficult to have a conversation about this because every generation is different. 30, 40 years ago, you played 3 out of 4 slams on the grass. You played with wooden rackets. Technology has advanced so much. Things have changed. Hard to compare generations, but I feel like I've gave my best really, and I'm still doing that. So if the people see me as one of the greatest players to ever play the game, I'm very grateful. Very grateful.
It's a good answer.
Yeah. So on that note, you're 35 years young. You look like you have a lot of road ahead of you. Who do you expect to be challenging you along with Rafa, who's still out here doing it? Who are the younger players with Steph that you think are going to be playing in these big matches going forward?
I mean, you mentioned the two. For sure, Steph is. You can't call him a next gen because he's been around. He's 25, I think. So he's knocking on the door of Grand Slam title, and I told him that he's going to win it. I mean, it's just a matter of time. I know that Rafa and myself will make sure that the young guys don't take too many slams for a little while, but it's inevitable. You have Alcaraz, you have Sinner, you have Felix. You have these guys that are super strong, and they've been beating us. On different tournaments, different surfaces around the world, but.
I don't care what he says, but he's still my greatest of all time, whether he likes it or not. Is he still the greatest of all time for you in tennis? Let me hear that in the comment section. Yeah, I will leave you with some highlights from that match between Novak Djokovic and Stefanos Tsitsipas. While you enjoy that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more on tennis.
Perfect shot selection from
See ya.
Djokovic. So many people, I think, they look at the striking of the ball as the most important thing, but this shot selection from a great player is just enlightening for me. He had the opponent on the back foot, moving backward.
It's still Novak who comes out on top. I just have this sense, and I have for a little while now, Mark, you mentioned it earlier, that if you don't do enough with it, it'll get you hurt. My goodness.